Shalom. With this week's Torah portion, Parshat Urecki, Genesis 47 through 50, we come to the end of the story of our matriarchs and our patriarchs. Jacob's life draws to a close, and he summons his son Joseph. Jacob asks Joseph to swear to him that he will not bury him in Egypt, but will return his body to the land of his ancestors, the land of Canaan. Bury Jacob in the cave of Machpelah. Joseph agrees, and then brings his sons to visit his dying father. Jacob blesses them, Ephraim and Manasseh. Then all his sons gather around Jacob, who speaks to each individually about their future. Jacob dies. Joseph has his father's body prepared according to Egyptian custom, then travels to Canaan to bury Jacob as promised, alongside his parents, Rebekah and Isaac, and his grandparents, Abraham and Sarah. Joseph's brothers, fearing what Joseph may now do now that their father is dead, tell Joseph it was Jacob's final desire, final dying wish, that Joseph forgive them for what they did to him. Joseph assures the brothers that he bears no grudge against them. Joseph then dies, but not before asking his family to swear that they too will return his bones to Canaan when the family one day leaves Egypt. The book of Genesis closes after so many family conflicts, finally in a sense of peace. Now here's what troubles our rabbinical commentators. The book of Genesis actually ends with a lie. The rabbis teach that the brothers told Joseph, right at the end of the book, in the 50th chapter, "Our father commanded us to tell you before he died, so shall you say to Joseph, forgive the transgressions of your brothers and their sin, though they did evil to you. And now we ask you, forgive the transgressions of us, the servants of God, of thy father." And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. It's a very touching scene, but it's a lie. Jacob never gave such an instruction, at least nowhere that we can see in all of the brothers' conversations with their father Jacob before his death. The brothers told Joseph an out-and-out lie. I mean, you can argue that they did it out of genuine fear for their lives. After all, they knew the power Joseph wielded in Egypt. They assumed that he was still angry at them for what they did to him. And they figured he was just biding his time until his dad died. You know, according to the rabbis, and I intend to talk about it this Shabbat, Joseph actually doesn't have any ill will toward his brothers at this point. He doesn't have a single thought of revenge in his heart. I will share with the congregation a beautiful midrash, an incredible legend this week that shows you this. It's gorgeous. But you know, the brothers didn't know that. It's fair to say they couldn't read their brother's mind. And as a result, they felt they had to tell him a complete fabrication. They were praying for peaceful relations with their brother, and they're told a lie. And here, while the rabbis teach us, they indeed told a monstrous lie. I mean, making up stuff that a dying father never said. Nevertheless, the rabbis teach us that they were doing it for the best reason, the right reason. They told a lie for the sake of family peace. And the rabbis declare it is permissible to lie for the sake of peace. Truth always matters, but peace matters even more. And what the brothers did was both good and worthy. You know, my friends, the rabbis are right. The book of Genesis ends with a lie. But the rabbis are also correct. The book of Genesis ends finally, after so many family conflicts, in peace as a result of that lie. And that's not a bad thing. My friends, in this age where everyone in public life is either lying or accused of lying, where leaders fudge the truth, mislead the public, which can lead to catastrophic events, we sometimes forget that while truth, sadly, is indeed a lost virtue in our society, there are still times in day-to-day living when lying can actually be a mitzvah, a good deed. When a lie can help give hope, calm a broken spirit diagnosed with a terminal disease. When a person needs to hear that something they worked hard on for you looks incredible when it probably isn't. When a lie helps bring peace between two angry brothers, then the truth can and should give way. Lying is indeed no way to live, but sometimes lying for the sake of peace is a virtue, and I think we see that in this week's Torah portion. Knowing when it's appropriate is why sacred stories are told and discussed to teach us how and when. Amen.